Hello, this is Kate from dailytarotgirl.com, and this is your weekly tarot card reading. And for this week's reading, I'm using the Housewives Tarot. Okay, so I'm going to start by drawing 3 cards. Each card is going to represent a portion of the upcoming week. And my intention here with this reading is just to kind of get an overview look at the week ahead and see if there's any interesting little themes or challenges or opportunities that are going to be coming up for us. Okay, so we'll start with the first card, which is going to represent Monday and Tuesday. Ooh, here we have the Hierophant. And I love this because it's a picture of like a really old, it looks like an old TV. And what I gather from this card is it's about some other, I want to say like authority figure having an influence on you. So in this case, there's a television. So I think that's interesting, seeing like media as being kind of an authority on things and having a big influence on how we see things and how we think about things and talk about things. So I guess what I'm getting from this card when I look at it is it's not so much what are you giving your power away to. That's not what I want to say, but it's like, what are you believing? Who or what do you cast as in the authority figure role in your life? Who do you see as an authority on things? Is it media? Is it a person? Is it a group? Is it a particular ideology? What is it that you put a lot of weight in? Who has the biggest, who or what has the biggest influence on your life right now and how you see the world and how you see things? And I think why this depiction of the Hierophant is so interesting in this deck is that media and how things are portrayed in, say, a documentary or in the news really shapes, or it can shape, how we understand something or how we see something. It can shape public opinion by the way that something is portrayed. So yeah, what is shaping your opinions right now? It's an interesting thing to question. I'm going to come back to the Hierophant because there's more I want to say, but I want to move on to the middle of the week. So Wednesday and Thursday, the middle of the week, we have the Wheel of Fortune. So this is interesting. We have 2 major arcana cards. And actually, I'm going to just adjust this card so there isn't as much glare on it. Okay. So we have the Wheel of Fortune. And the Wheel of Fortune is all about flux and change and just the general ups and downs of life. And it makes me think of like, here it's like this gambling thing. So it's like, things are kind of a gamble. Sometimes we take a chance, we gamble on something. We take a risk, and sometimes we're lucky, sometimes we lose, sometimes we're not lucky. But what does it mean for the middle of the week? What kind of wisdom or advice does this card have? I feel like the message here is that it's okay to take a bit of a leap of faith and a bit of a risk this week. And another thing I get with this is that luck may be on your side this week. But more than anything, and I say this whenever I see the Wheel of Fortune, I feel like this card is about getting centered. And I always give that analogy of being on a wheel, like a Ferris wheel. If you're sitting in the seats on a Ferris wheel, you're going to feel the ups and downs so strongly. But if you're in the center of the wheel, right in the middle of the wheel, you're going to be able to observe the movement, but you aren't going to be pulled along. You're going to experience the changes and the ups and downs with almost a detached kind of perspective. You're not going to get pulled along with it. It's like that saying, like, to be in the world but not of it. Another way of thinking of this card is it's about getting centered within yourself. So that, and I want to connect it to the Hierophant. If you're centered within yourself, you have your intuition and your senses as a way of discerning things that are bullshit. So the Hierophant and authority figures that try to tell you how you should be thinking or what you should be doing or how, how you should be looking at things. You're going to be able to detect when people are being, I guess, deceitful, or you're just going to have a stronger BS detector if you're really centered within yourself. If you're not centered within yourself and you're getting pulled every which way, you can be easily seduced or dissuaded by things like media and stuff like that. So the real wisdom of this card is all about getting centered within yourself. And I don't really know what that, like, I'm not sure specifically how to do that, how to be centered within yourself. So let's move on to the next card and maybe we can come back and answer that. So the end of the week, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Whoops. We have the, I'm just trying to make it so this card won't fall over. We have the Seven of Wands, and it's a pink toilet and a bunch of toothbrushes. And so it makes me think of cleaning a toilet with a toothbrush and how long that would take, how it's kind of a thankless sort of task. It almost feels like pointless. And the Seven of Wands is often about feeling like we have to sort of prove ourselves or fight to stay on top of things. It's when we feel like we're being threatened, not physically threatened, but we may feel that in an ego sense, we're being threatened by someone else's success. Give me a minute here. I just want to look at this card for a bit. It feels like the end of the week, we're going to be challenged to do something. And the real challenge, I think, is being secure in your own abilities and being secure within yourself. And it's good, but it's going to be disguised as another challenge. But the real challenge is, how confident in yourself, how at peace with yourself and who you are, how at peace can you be this week? Another thing I get with this is this is about feeling like you are enough and you do enough. Because the Seven of Wands, I get this kind of almost like a slave driver sort of mentality with the Seven of Wands. And it's like that inner critic where we keep pushing ourselves and we feel like we have to be our absolute best all the time. And we keep trying to do more and be, achieve more. And the Seven of Wands is kind of asking you to maybe question that and be okay with who you are, and even just saying that affirmation to yourself, like, I am enough, I have enough, I do enough, can be really healing this week, I think. And circling back to the Wheel of Fortune, I think it kind of answers that question. How do you stay centered in yourself, or how do you become more centered? And if you have this inner critic that is always like, you better do better, you better do more, you're not good enough, that kind of pulls you out of yourself in a way. So I think that recognizing that you do enough and you have enough, you are enough, will help you get centered within yourself so that you can be kind of on guard for anyone or anything that tries to insert themselves as an authority figure in your life and tries to kind of influence you and dictate your behavior or your thoughts. Okay. So I'm just going to take a quick step back and see if there's anything else I want to mention here. I'm noticing circles. So there's this circular disc. This looks like a record. It makes me think of a record that spins. And then here we have the Wheel of Fortune spinning, and here we have a toilet bowl, and when you flush a toilet, it spins. So I think that's fascinating. I don't know what it represents, so I'm going to turn that over to you. What do you think that means? What does that symbolize for you? And do you have any insights on that? Okay, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you've found this reading helpful or enjoyable. You can, if you want to subscribe to my channel, I do these readings every week. And if you're interested in learning about tarot, you might want to check out my website, dailytarotgirl.com. Thanks again for watching and have a beautiful week.